Hey again, one of these days I'll actually look at the camera as I start, so I have less editing to do, but that's not today. So my last video in this series, you heard about how Kenny had had a huge impact on me. And it took me a few years though, until I knew I wanted to be a coach. And I looked at other things, and part of it was where I was, right? Like I was in my late 30s, I was doing really well financially, better than I thought I would ever do in my life. So I really didn't want to walk away from that. But this gnawing feeling that there was more, that I could do more, that I could have an easier way of life just started to bloom and bloom and bloom. And at least in my case, I can't speak for the rest of you, but in my case, I wasn't ready to look at how I could check my stress or make my life easier yet. And I don't know how many years I'd had in corporate at that time, but I wasn't doing shit to check my stress. And that's part of how I got to be in the state that I am. But I really just want to focus more on being a coach right now, although ignoring my stress is part of why I focused on pain and stress management, is because I've definitely learned, I shouldn't be smiling for this, but I'm totally laughing at myself because, like, as I'm telling this story, I'm like, duh, of course I had to look at that. But I didn't want to, because that meant I was going to be giving up a lot of fun. But anyway, going back to just focusing just on coaching before I even figured out where I wanted to really hone in on focusing, I just knew I wanted to help people be a life coach of somehow. So I thought first I just wanted to be general. But before I even got there, I was thinking, okay, like, I don't really want to walk away from the working world long enough to go to school, nor do I really want to put years into getting a degree. Like, I was so freaking indecisive going through school the first time. Like, it just seems like, and it still to this day seems like this enormous burden to put school on top of myself, on top of everything else that I'm doing. And right now it would be hard. That doesn't mean that I'm not willing to sign up for shorter classes now, but signing on for another 2 to 4 or longer years to get a different degree that had more to do with psychology or counseling or something along that line, like that, just it really wasn't appealing. And then as I continued to just move along the path of life, like, life coach kept coming up over and over again. So I was like, what the hell is a life coach? Like, do you teach people how to live? Like, the hell is this? And I didn't really understand. But then as it tends to be, when we start to think about an idea, we start to attract like energy. That's not a mistake. It's not your imagination. It's that energy attracts like energy. Period. That's it. So as I started to think more about helping people, then people started to say, wow, you should be a coach. You should really be a life coach. And this was just with my interactions with people, just in regular day-to-day life. Like, that was the feedback. Like, someone would come to me with an issue they had, and then we would be walking it out, talking it out together. And they're like, wow, you should really be a life coach. I'm like, what the hell is that? So I started to look into what the hell that is. And I'm like, wow, okay, I could really get on board with it. So I decided in 2016 that I was going to be a life coach, and I was going to do it and make it mine in the next 5 years. So the next video in this series is about how this started to turn into much more focus on being a life coach. But I had said that by 2021, I wanted to do it. And here I am in 2020, putting these videos out, getting everything going. I'm going for it. See you guys in the next one.